Hello everyone, this is Drishti Kardam.
And this is Shreya Chaddha. We are associates at the IP department at Mandal Bangalore.
Today we're celebrating World Intellectual Property Day, and this year's theme is Women in IP, Accelerating Innovation and Creativity.
We asked our interns to connect with their peers and come up with questions in order to know a little bit more about the obstacles that they are facing in the IP industry, or rather the IP field as such.
The answer to this is a simple and very quick note. IP, like any other field of law, can be combined with other aspects and studies of law. In fact, we find ourselves relying on other aspects of the law on a daily basis when dealing with IP matters, such as information technology when it comes to tech-related IP, media and entertainment laws when it comes to copyrightability of cinematographs, musical works, or artistic performances, and even contract laws when it comes to transactions and dealing with settlement agreements or coexistence agreements, and so on. Most of the time, there is no one study of law used at a particular time. In fact, there are 2 to 3 laws that work in parallel to one another. We can go to the extent of saying that one of the best things about being in this field is that we can switch areas of practice without losing the experience we've gained in whatever amount of practice we've done. This experience would not be in the technical aspects of a particular law. However, drafting skills, negotiating, dealing with clients, debating or public speaking, business development, these are a few skills which will provide you an edge no matter what field of law you're working with.
IP is a very lucrative and versatile field, and anybody who has told otherwise may not have gone through the various facets of IP and the various options that are available in IP. Now, the first and the foremost thing which we should take into consideration is the prosecution, investigation, enforcement, and advisory. Coming to the prosecution aspect, which basically deals with the process of acquiring your rights in the IP industry with respect to various facets such as trademarks, copyrights, designs, patent as such. Then coming to the investigation, once your client has acquired the rights in the IP itself, you have to investigate as to whether some third-party entity is in fact infringing on those rights. And once you find who those people are, then you go towards the enforcement stage, which basically means that you have to stop the other party from infringing your client's right. And of course, how you advise your client, that is your advisory portion. Now, the second thing is your auditing and valuation. In auditing and valuation, you have your IP due diligence, which my friend is a very big part of. And then you have IP valuations, then that is asset management. So when in today's world, whenever a company is formed and whenever it goes for valuation or it goes for an IPO as such, the first and the foremost thing which one needs to do is evaluate how much your company is worth, and that is where an IP attorney comes into play, right? So how does an IP attorney come into play? Because as of today, the brands that are there, the IP that a company has, that is much more valuable. The intangible assets are much more valuable as compared to your tangible assets. And how much your company is worth, that is what your IP attorney will do. And that is where the core value of an IP attorney and what they do and how they do it, that is what comes into play here. Coming to the third point, that is your media and entertainment, your technology sector, your sports law, your fashion industry. All of these things are again another very niche sector which forms a part of your IP, and you get a lot of work in franchising, in licensing portion, assignments of IP. So all of these sectors is, maybe you can call it a little glamorous sector in the IP industry, because of which people are attracted towards the aspect of IP as such. But these are very niche sectors in IP in which you have very lucrative options. And then obviously the fourth one is your traditional that you say, that is your litigation. You always have the option to litigate in IP, and as you go forward you can become a judge in your district courts, in your high courts, or even your Supreme Court also.
That was quite an insight you provided, Shreya. Thank you. The most obvious answer, let's start with that. Of course, it's internships. In majority of law schools, IP is provided as an optional course in the 4th or the 5th year of the course, or for the 3-year course, we can say that in the last year. Since it's an optional course, you don't have to choose it in the beginning of your career. But until then, the learners have done enough internships to be able to figure out exactly which specialization they want to proceed with. It is advised that all law students take their time to explore as many fields as possible during this internship level. Once you've locked down your specialization or your chosen field, you should look for opportunities in law firms rather than looking for opportunities in in-house roles. Why? Because law firms provide you with a better or first-hand experience of practical aspects of law, and you get to work in a variety of cases for a variety of clients. You're not limited to clients or limited to a particular kind of case as you are in an in-house setting. But what else can you do apart from internships? There are many courses available on the internet where they teach students about the various nuances of IP, and most of the times these sessions, these classes are actually conducted by real practicing IP professionals. Additionally, you can attend a lot of seminars and webinars where some or the other topics are being discussed and talked about. These activities will keep you updated with the new things that are coming up, and also add to your CV. Lastly, recruiters these days are also looking at what all publications do the candidates or the potential candidates have these days, because they want to look into how good you are at putting your thoughts to a paper, how well versed or how articulate you are, and also what is your understanding of law and how well do you apply those laws to the case in hand or the issues in hand. Having a combination of all of these is your best bet to be an experienced professional even at a fresher level.
I think the question of work-life balance is not just restricted to the IT field, right? But rather it's there in every field wherever there is a culture of maybe corporate or even in private sector also, or maybe you're an entrepreneur or any such thing. So work-life balance is a very important aspect which comes whenever you start working. So coming to this particular question and related to the IP field as such, I think in today's world, especially in the Gen Z generation, right? Gen Z is always looking for companies or for opportunities where they can find some work-life balance, and they are ready to quit a place if it does not give them that work-life balance, or it does not match the vibe, maybe, right?
Right. We've all seen memes about it.
Yeah, of course. The answer to this question is like both yes and no, because it will totally depend as to how you are as a person and how well you're managing your day-to-day activities. Because the IT profession as such is a deadline-related field. We all have experience through it, where you have to meet deadlines. A client may come at the very last moment asking for some requirements. You may have some foreign associates who want to maybe have a meeting in the night time. You never know. However, that does not mean that there is no work-life balance there. Work-life balance is how you make it a work-life balance, how you inform your articulate or how you manage your entire day. That is how you will get to have a work-life balance. I think this, especially in the case of working women, for them it is all the more important to have a work-life balance in their life, because they don't have to just manage the work in the office itself, but they have to go home and manage their household as such. So I think hybrid model is one such aspect which has been effective for working women here. So I think that maybe can be helpful if working women are given that option. And now coming to how much time, again I don't think so there is any set
there is
time, right? That no, this is the time when you can say that you'll have a work-life balance. However, as and when your it progresses, your profession progresses, you progress in your profession, that is when you can maybe maintain a work-life balance, because in the very starting of your career you will give it your all, you will try to learn each and everything that is available out there. So you may not have enough time to just go and maybe chill out, right? However, as and when you progress and you manage and you grow in your career, that is when you will find a work-life balance. I think this is not just in our field, it goes for any field, right?
And to add to you, I think it's not just related to an individual, it also depends on the kind of organization you're working with.
Of course.
And the kind of rapport you have with your team members. So if one person is busy, if other person is available to take that
Of
up,
course.
like we usually do. Well, for a woman, the stereotyping starts from the base home level. After fighting it, if you're able to enter the professional level, and you've actually already fought and won half of the battle. But coming to the professional field, you will face stereotypes, if at all, from two angles. First would be from your counterparts in the legal fraternity, and second would be from the client's perspective.
Coming to the peers and in your legal fraternity, there can be a few ways in which you are stereotyped and you're not really getting your due recognition. Maybe your seniors are not taking you seriously, you're not given enough credit, or somebody else is taking your credit, and maybe whatever you are voicing out, your opinion is just basically being disregarded. In such a scenario, what you can do is you can actually talk to your seniors, you can make them understand as to what you are doing and how it's making you feel. I think that is one of the best ways you can maybe approach it.
Speak up.
Speak up, that's it, just maybe speak up.
From a client's perspective, form a rapport. Being in the service industry, our go-to mantra is client is God. And hence, naturally, being a lawyer, it is of utmost importance that we form a rapport with our clients, a relationship of trust. This becomes a problem when the client is such that it's not willing to work with a female lawyer, and they would at times ask you to connect them with your seniors.
And we all face that.
Yes. So in that case, what do? In such cases, being confident, being well versed with the nuances of law, and being very quick in your responses will work in your favor. Walk the talk instead of just talking the talk. Show them the results and give them their money's worth. Give regular updates and be in touch with them often, even if there are no ongoing matters. Statistically speaking, there are more female lawyers in IP field in comparison to any other field of law. However, it becomes a cause of concern when you realize that those same statistics tell you that there are far lesser number of females in management positions or in the creative or innovative field. Now that we've realized this issue, let us work together in bringing about a change. For women, with women, and by women. Thank you for listening to us.